Hey, a great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, and it's been an eventful kind of a day. Uh, Quick show, uh, just a little recap. First of all, I want to apologize for not coming on last night. Actually, got home after picking up some rice at Kamori, and I don't know what they put in the rice, but it sure as heck made me sleepy, and I crashed out, and I did not wake up, and I think I woke up like at 9:15, 9:20, and I said, yeah, a little bit on the late side to do a 9 o'clock show. But I think what's happened is that I was carrying still some uh, cansancio from the trip to Cuba and being in Monterrey. Had the opportunity to visit with Abraham a little bit and the what one of the kids. And I saw Christian. I didn't see the rest of the kids, but hopefully, yeah, after today, I'm all recuperado del viaje. It's kind of trippy because a lot of times you go on these trips, and a lot of people think, oh, it's just uh, relax, fun and games. But it wasn't the case. Going to Cuba is an adventure in itself. I shared the report with our church in regards to the work that we did in Cuba, and let me say, traveling to another country is not easy. Traveling to a socialist country is doubly easy, doubly not easy, doubly not easy is extra hard. And there's always a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of sadness and a lot of some danger in the process. It was funny because I'll make mention that I did get sick over there. Uh, I actually thought that I had probably gotten COVID after having avoided it for so long. I thought, my gosh, I came to a missionary trip in Cuba, and I going to come back home with COVID. Good morning, Elizabeth. Love you, mi amor. But such was not the case. It was only un resfriado, gripa, and um, and that's all it was. But aside from that, one of the things that I shared with our church just on Sunday was that it's a little bit on the unsanitary side, and that's what's really, really very sad situation. It is a little bit on the unsanitary side. Good morning, Kathy.
Good morning. How's everybody doing?
Good. There's a lot of flies, and it's kind of trippy because you go to a restaurant and you think, oh, everything's going to be great, and sure as heck not. There's a lot of flies all over the place, and flies carry around disease, and it's just very indicative of what is all around. And they're trying to find some type of sustainment. Aside from that, we had a situation where we one of our members almost was drawn away from the group. Good morning. Was drawn away from the group, and with the no hombre, acá están los cubanos, cigarros cubanos a 50% descuento, and I va, and it was funny because I was seeing him leave the group, and I caught it real quick, and I yelled at him. I said, "Hey, come back!" And he goes, "Oh, ahorita, ahorita." I said, "Bitch, you better get back right now." I got into this little father type of figure, like, no, señor, usted se me viene ahorita. And came back and, had a little message with him and told him, guy, you can't do that. Not in a foreign country. It's not a good thing. So, all that aside from getting sick and all of the pressure of being in a socialist country really drains. And I think that's why I was still recuperating yesterday, but we're back today. It's good to see you this morning, Kathy.
Likewise, how's everybody doing?
Good. Elizabeth, so what happened with the MOU?
Um, okay, so let me tell you what happened. They had the city of Brownsville they were there participating for any questions that we had, and they had answers. The people from the city of Brownsville was Helen Ramirez, the what is it? She's the city manager, right? City manager. They had the gentleman from Border Patrol who was one of the supervisors. They had the chief, Salceda, and then they had the I think assistant fire chief also was there, and May John Cowan was also there attending, and there was a total like about 8 people that we all spoke in regards to the concerns or certain topics that people were just wanting to share. I noticed that some of the board members had like been communicating with the superintendent, and apparently these board members had the insight or were closer to the issue than the 3 others that were not. Now I'm going to mention their names so you know. Mr. Frank Ortiz, Minerva Peña, and Carlos Elizondo were totally to table and to have additional discussion in regards to the matter, because there was a lot of people sharing how, that bringing these undocumented invaders, illegal aliens, because people tend to call them migrants. And I want to clarify to everybody, migrants is the person that comes to work, right? Because that's what we used to have. We used to have migrants that we used to come and work, and and even in our own hometown, when our migrant friends used to go work up north, right? So that's what a migrant is. They go, they live in some other place, and then they come back to their hometown, right? So, they don't call them illegal undocumented individuals. They want for it to sound nice and pretty. Migrants. They're not migrants. They're not migrants. That's one thing that they need to clarify, because the document says for migrant use, that the campus Victoria Heights is to be used for migrants. They're not migrants. They try to paint a real pretty picture. They want to make it look like Mona Lisa, But so then you had your 4, which is Eddie Garcia. Eddie Garcia seeking to run. I believe I heard that he wants to run for
tax assessor.
Tax assessor, right? And this is what I tell people: pay attention to how they're voting, because how they vote now, that's how they're going to think about it when they get elected to another position, or you reelect them. So then you have also Daniela Lopez. Daniela Lopez is pro. You can tell she's pro the project. She wants it so bad. Like you could tell she was very adamant. And then you have Daniela Lopez, and then you have Denise Garza, who just got elected. She's pro. You can tell she's pro the project. And then you have what's her name? Gonzalez girl?
Jessica
Gonzalez? Yeah. Then you have her and
Clueless.
I have never seen such a thing. But then again, that's what you have in the federal level. That's what you have at the county level, and that you have at the city level. That is what we're living with, people. And I keep saying we're not paying attention. So what happened was that there was a discussion. Carlos Elizondo had the questions about, look at what happened to Laguna Vista tornado, right? Where are they placing those people? God forbid. Mother Nature right now has been acting extremely differently compared to what we've seen and noticed in the past. Mother Nature, God forbid we get hit with a major hurricane, our infrastructure is not good enough for us as citizens to have to deal with a major catastrophic. Another thing, Carlos pointed out that our campuses are to be utilized for emergency situations such as our hurricane, to be able to place people that are displaced due to a storm knocking down their roof, knocking down their home. And that is basically what we're supposed to be using our campuses for. When Lucy and I were out there, we saw the MOU. And obviously the MOU is the district is going to be responsible for everything. Not only are we going to be using our food service, but our transportation buses. Pay attention, people. Pay close attention, Brownsville residents. What belongs to our students, what belongs to us, now we're using them for the purpose of undocumented invaders, illegal aliens that are coming into our own backyard. Now, my question is, why don't we just ship them up to Biden's residence? I'm sure he's got a lot of acreage. I'm sure he's got a lot of room. Oh, it's the White House, right? We can't have them there. But how about Kamala Harris? How about Mayor? How about them? They want them so bad. AOC, Ocasio-Chick. Why don't we send them out there? You know, I heard that in Chicago, citizens are filed a lawsuit for one of their high schools that was utilized to house all these undocumented illegal immigrants. And again, they're using the word migrants, which were the ones that used to go to the fields and work in the fields. They're making it sound pretty. They're making it sound that these people are migrants. They're not migrants. Some of them are coming just to commit crimes. Some of them are coming, perhaps some of them do have good intentions. But I see a lot of males. The majority of them are males running the streets, walking in the streets. And then what Eddie Garcia said, well, we want to try to help, you know, and so did Daniela. We need to come together and we need to, this is an immigration issue. This is a federal issue. This is BISD, as I recall, as your former school board member, and so was Erasmo, we are in the education business. We are to educate our children. We are to prepare them. We are to make sure that we have a place for them to be safe, to be in the highest quality of the needed standards for them to be able to go there and be there for 8 hours. We are here to make sure that our teachers are taken care of and that we understand the budget to be able to do what needs to get done. But I think they're losing the entire focus. There's more to it.
Oh, it's become political, Kathy.
Yeah, it's become political. And then you know what? Then nobody wants to say where the idea came from. Nobody wants to be responsible enough to say, I own it. And that's the type of people that we have there in our high-ranking positions, whether it's administrative. Gutierrez, when they put it to motion, Carlos motioned to table it, and apparently it was motion not to be tabled. And then we kept on looking at them, and then they brought it back to motion. They brought it back to motion to have another motion. And so they brought the item back to motion it back to table it. So at the end, it was tabled. And when the Border Patrol agent, when he was asked how many are being processed, let me tell you, your mayor, the mayor that we have or had, and it's on his way out today, and thank God, he said that there was only like about 800 people a day, that those are the only ones that are coming in. Please. The Border Patrol agent got up, and guess what? When I served as your school board member in Brownsville Independent School District, we had a total of 47,000 students. Let me tell you, he said that they have processed 45,000 of these individuals. And citizens, if we don't pay attention and we don't come together, they're going to continue to do what they want. Now, for the mayor to say this is norm, it's not. I grew up in the 70s. Never did I see such a thing. Never. I commend those former presidents that we had that had the guts to truly serve and protect and make sure that our borders were safe. We used to have them. I used to work in the police department, and you used to want to cross over. And the river, the Rio Grande River, had so much water that we used to have what they called floaters. So when they used to call that they found a floater, when Border Patrol was still patrolling our riverbanks, right? They used to call, hey, Brownsville PD, we have a floater, somebody that tried to cross over, and it was difficult. Right now, the river doesn't have a lot of water. So it's access for them to come a little bit easier. So guess what? We'd have a floater once a week, twice a week, but it was not in the masses. It was not in the masses like El Paso has them, Laredo has them, McAllen has them. We have them. Citizens of Brownsville, the time is now. And let me tell you, honestly, we have an administration in White House that are extremely corrupt. Extremely corrupt. This is happening because we don't have the right leadership. And it's poor planning. It's poor planning.
No planning.
If we would have planned like the people do, like I plan my budget, I plan a trip, I plan a wedding, and everything comes out well. And even sometimes we might miss something, but we don't have chaos. We don't have chaos. And we've had chaos in our city. It's depressing. It's sickening to see what we have.
Kathy, we've been screaming about this for years already. And I mean, I've been mentioning in regards to the crossings. I think we've all been following how these caravans have been coming up all the way from Central America. So this is one of my issues with the city of Brownsville, is they know that we are at the forefront of a storm, and no one prepares, Kathy. It's like I'm getting messages like crazy. I'm in Cuba. I'm getting messages like crazy because of the thunderstorms that are coming in. Going like, Erasmo, where are the sandbags? I'm going like, I'm in Cuba. We don't need sandbags in Cuba. I don't know. But it's always Brownsville, Cameron County seem to always wait till the last minute in order to take any type of action in regards to anything that's coming our way. And that's what's really unfortunate, because I've been screaming about these individuals slowly seeping in here downtown, because I see them right here. Nadie me lo contó. I didn't see it on Fox News. I'm living it right here, to the point where they closed down the parking garage, and I've been saying this for years, to make it into an illegal hub, because that's where they were processing the individuals that were crossing over illegally that had COVID right there. Because all I would see was a lot of individuals, a lot of nurses coming out of those places with their blue scrubs, and automatically I knew that these individuals were put there in order to process these illegal aliens that were coming. Everyone saw it coming, guys. Now, let's say que está bueno, no sabían todo. A month ago, they tried crossing the Gateway Bridge. The officers were able to stop them there. That should have told them something. There was an encampment here across the river, allá atrás, donde está el río en Matamoros. I mean, it was jam-packed, guys. I mean, it looked like a third world country just right there. Now, why didn't anyone think that as soon as the waters were going to permit, these individuals were going to come across? And as soon as the waters permit, and after they could not cross the bridge walking, you better believe that they started to come in. They started coming in the thousands and thousands and thousands of individuals a day. And let me tell you, it's not going to stop, folks. It's not going to stop, because there's other caravans now, because these individuals have let other individuals know, guys, it's an easy cross. Because let me tell you, crossing through Central America, I've been there. Crossing through Mexico, I've been there, guys. It's not easy. It's hard. It's difficult. Crossing over into the United States is a piece of cake. It's a cakewalk. It's simple. It's easy. It's inviting. And not only that, once you get here, then the school district wants to open the doors to your property, folks, because it's your property. It's my property. Wants to open the doors and service individuals. Who's paying for it? You, me.
Another thing.
But they don't have any money, Kathy. They don't have any money to give teacher raises. They're losing teachers like crazy. Every time our students want to go and participate in any events, there's no money. Go fundraise. Go find the money. And then they put them up in flea bag motels in Laredo, Texas, in horrible conditions, guys.
That's what I've heard. For people to come and invade our territory, our city, because it's ours. We pay taxes. We live here. We go eat here. We help our local property, business owners. I mean, for us to allow that, shame on us. Shame on us. When are we going to put our foot down? And I tell people, I don't drink the Kool-Aid that they are drinking because God forbid that'll make me blind, literally blind. Let me tell you, what I see is not a lie. What I see with my own eyes is not a lie.
Nope.
When you see it for yourself, don't allow anyone to come and tell you differently. And let me tell you, we emphasized, the people that got up to speak emphasized that we are not in the immigration business.
Yep.
We are not in the immigration business. This is a Biden downfall. For those of you that are not out there making sure that we got to change this in 2024, let me tell you, it's only going to get worse if we don't put our foot down.
100%.
And let me tell you, Minerva Peña, Carlos, and Mr. Ortiz stood their ground. It was a shame to even hear the board president tell Minerva Peña that she was wasting time. No, when we have a serious issue, there's no time for you to say that time is being wasted. Because we're talking about families that are elderly, that are living in the community, and you have yet, Ms. Gonzalez, as a board president, you have yet to go out there and ask them how they feel if you were to put these undocumented invaders, illegal individuals that have come to our country. How dare you, Ms. Gonzalez? And I'm calling you out on it, Jessica, because I was a board president. And let me tell you, how dare you allow this? How dare you? Because the title that you have, you should be out there storming and calling the federal government and telling them that the safety is priority in our hometown. And our schools are not to be used for that. At least me as a taxpayer, I don't want you to do that. I want you. And I don't live in that neighborhood, but I can relate to them. I can relate to them because you know what? You're targeting an older part of town where those homes are, you have a lot of humble people living there that have been living there for 60, 70 years.
Kathy, but what's going to guarantee, Kathy, that they're ever going to leave?
That's what we asked. That's exactly what we asked. You want this? You know how they go in there? And little by little, they get adjusted and they say, I'm going to get comfortable because guess what? We're doing just what we need here.
Yeah, we're fine. What's going to guarantee that it's going to be an easy? How are you going to get rid of them? Because once they're settled in, guys, they're here permanently. And it's going to be a burden. And not so much for the federal government. And one of the things that I made mention is, and I made mention this when we were running for office, guys, the issue is it becomes a burden for the city of Brownsville. And then they say, well, we're going to ask the federal government to reimburse us. And let's say that happens. But what happens is the city uses your resources, guys. It should be going to your children. They use your resources in order to provide this need. And once they get the money from the federal government, do you think that money that's coming from the federal government is actually going to go back into helping your children? It is not. It is absolutely not. It's going to go back into the same little pet projects that this community is constantly flooded with, and nothing changes. Absolutely.
Now, think about this, people. Think about these citizens. Because the MOU, let me read to you what the MOU, if you allow me a few minutes, and I'm going to read to you. Okay. The Memorandum of Understanding. Okay. It says, the Brownsville Independent School District agrees to provide former school campuses, okay, that are currently not in use, such as Victoria Elementary, to register and process migrants. Again, migrants is not the word. They're deceiving us. As well as provide related services, including but not limited, food service, transportation service, and nursing services. Citizens of Brownsville, this is serious. And it's a shame because this is one school. Next thing you know, we're losing students. Their idea is, hey, we can get into the business of helping the federal government. And guess what? How about we close this school over here in this neighborhood? Sass. Guess what? In our own backyards. In our own backyards, guys. I am going to put a link. Erasmo, I'm going to share with you. I have someone working on a link. My fellow citizens, my family members and friends, that link will be shared. The link is going to have, do you agree or you don't agree? Do you want these people in our neighborhoods? They're already roaming around our neighborhoods. They are. Let me tell you, once they're processed, they're released. They're released, and they have the rights that you and I have as American citizens. Unfortunately, we are allowing this. If you have time to go to el bailecito and go have a little margarita with your friends and gatherings, play chalupa, make time for these things that are very important, people.
Super important.
This is an important thing. And let me tell you, if we don't get it together, guys, as citizens, okay, we don't need to be radical. We need to say the facts is the facts, guys. The facts is the facts. So if we're going to start using this, our buildings, for what they want, to shove it down our throats, and then this is just one school. Mind you, they're starting with one school. Next is going to be a second school, a third school, a fourth school. They're literally invading us, guys.
Yeah.
They're taking over what belongs to us.
Our resources.
Our resources. That's not fair.
The problem is Matamoros lets them cross instead of stopping them. Matamoros has no responsibility in stopping them, guys. That's our job. And let me say this, guys. Mexico does a half-assed job in regards to stopping individuals on the southern border. I've been there to the southern border with Guatemala, guys. Let me tell you, they are very, very harsh out there in regards to individuals crossing over, guys. But Matamoros has no responsibility in stopping individuals who are leaving their city. Para ellos mejor, because they're not feeding off of their resources anymore. They're going to feed off of Brownsville's resources. So what responsibility does Matamoros have to stop them from crossing over into Brownsville? No, guys, that is the United States government's responsibility to make sure that individuals do not cross into this country. But our federal government has failed us. Our county has failed us. And our city has failed us, guys.
No, hombre, they lack fortitude. I have them. Maybe they can borrow them and they can grow some because yo sí los tengo bien puestos. You know, that's the bottom line. And I hate to sound so harsh and direct people, but I am disgusted. Ms. Gonzalez is your board president for BISD. Okay? Her name is Jessica Gonzalez. And let me tell you.
An imbecile. Idiot.
She portrays to be this.
Es una estúpida. Jamás, Katy, he conocido a una persona tan estúpida como Jessica Gonzalez.
I am going to tell you that I admire people with intelligence. I just feed off of them. I love to surround myself with intelligent people. I do. I just, to me, my dad taught me, Mija, you embrace those with intelligence. You grow with those with intelligence.
Learn from them.
You learn from them and you grow. And guess what, mija? Porque lo sonso se te pega. You know, when you surround yourself with it, you connect with it. It's like somebody that's positive and has this great energy that flows with in between, you know, hey friend, I need for you to pet me up. And then that friend has that positive energy. You know, at the end of the day, guys, it is what it is. You know, we need to have intelligent people helping us out. And if we can't unite, once again, I'm going to have a link. This link is going to be posted. And because what's going to happen is they're going to form a committee. Okay? What Jessica Gonzalez and some of the people said, and the superintendent said, and I don't even call him doctor. He doesn't even, the doctor le queda no le queda el título de doctor al superintendent. So I called him Mr. Gutierrez. He doesn't impress me. So Mr. Gutierrez, they said, well, we'll form a committee, right? Okay. Who's going to be in that committee that's going to come back and tell them, oh, go ahead and do it. It's a great idea, right? So at the end of the day, that committee is going to come and tell them to go out and they're going to vote again. It's coming back to be voted on again. They're going to bring it back, people, okay? There's a policy in the school district, and that policy holds the district accountable for. The policy, regardless of what's in the MOU, they will hold us accountable. Liability insurance, security services, food service. God forbid somebody gets raped there. Who's going to be responsible? God forbid the Venezolano with a Haitian, they don't get along. The Haitian knocks somebody on the head. They become extremely, hurt. They get hurt extremely. They go to the hospital. He's in ICU. Who's going to be responsible for that person? I mean, they're going to do what they're going to do, guys. It is what it is.
Let me say that it isn't the responsibility because they're already in their country. They want them out of their country as soon as possible, guys. It is our job to secure the border. We have not done our job, and that's what's unfortunate. And now it's not only becoming a burden on the American people, more importantly to me, it's becoming a burden to the Brownsville people, and no one cares. No one is thinking about the resources that are going to be eaten up that belong to the people of Brownsville. Because at the end of the day, what happens, folks, is that these individuals that got elected by 10% of the registered voters here in the city of Brownsville, ultimately they're out for themselves. And one of the things that you better believe is that none of these elected officials live around Victoria Heights. None of them. They don't care.
But you have a new city commissioner coming up. He's very young. He's got his partner always walking around with him. Don't let them feed you what's not true and what's not correct. Okay? And the bottom line, they're receiving federal funds. They're receiving federal funds, and they're not migrants. Again, they are invaders. They are undocumented. They are illegal aliens. It is what it is, guys. They're not everybody, not every country falls under the asylum category. There's China, Venezolanos, Hondurans, there's Haitians. There's so many of them coming in. It is unbelievable. It is such a shame.
What's real weird is that a lot of, and as Trumpish as it may sound, guys, let me tell you, Venezuela emptied their jails.
And they're coming. Those are the ones that are being released.
And every other country along the way, they emptied their jails. And they said, go straight up north. And they're coming here, folks. These are the individuals that are coming here. So it's not going to be a pretty picture, guys. And it's something that we've been seeing. I've been seeing for a year, and it's been a progressive. My concern is we are never proactive in regards to anything here in the city of Brownsville. We're never proactive, always reactive. And then we really pay a hefty price for it. And they want us, the citizens of Brownsville, to pay a hefty price to feed, to house, to protect individuals that enter this country illegally.
And then let me continue with the MOU, because this is what it says. The city of Brownsville agrees to clean, organize, and prepare the classrooms, gyms, and library. To begin the registration process, the city of Brownsville will provide staff to operate the facility for the intended purpose and further agrees to reimburse BISD for the services provided. Okay? Now, at the end of the day, guys, they will manage to change things and they'll do it their way.
Oh, yeah.
If they don't stick to the MOU and they don't abide by it, if they don't stick to it, who's going to be policing the police? Who's going to be policing the police, guys? Very simple. I I ask you to call the board president, Swamper. Swamper, she's the one that's supposed to understand that her duty is to protect.
But she's an imbecile.
Not us. To protect us. We are supposed to be protected by the leaders. But right now, we are not their priority. Not us, guys. We are not their priority. You know who's their priority? Is the undocumented, illegal. Call them that, because that's what they are. And you know what? I have a heart. I'm very loving and caring. But I have to make sure that our people here are protected. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why I brought the awareness. That's why we, Erasmo Castro, me, we make time to bring to you the updated information. Remember, Eddie Garcia is pro. Daniela Lopez is pro to support. Denise Garza, she just got elected. She was running scared. She was running scared that she was not going to come back and she was not going to win the election. She was. Okay? She just got reelected for a second term. And these people stayed there for 4 years. But the lack of voters to go out and vote and find out who's who, that's the problem, guys. That is the problem.
That is a problem.
Then you have your Jessica Gonzalez. I never thought I'd see a board president for an education system that worthless and worthless. Trust me, I have no respect for the woman because she lacks fortitude. And she should be saying, I agree with Mr. Elizondo. I agree with Ms. Peña. I agree. All of them should be in agreement. All of them. Not just one. 7. You have 7 board members. And they should have a unanimous vote not to do this. Not to do this. So I cannot emphasize more. I'm going to tell you, Erasmo, I have somebody working on a link. That link will have the questions of, do you feel safe? Should we house these people in our schools? As Brownsville residents or U.S. citizens, can you share the concerns? It's going to have a little box there. And I'm going to tell you, I am going to make sure that that gets to them as soon as possible once we have that link up and people are linked up to that. We're going to have the results because I really need that. I really need that out there.
Well, I appreciate whoever's out there creating this link. I will definitely share it, and we'll continue to keep individuals informed. I had a friend of mine send me a message this morning. He goes, "Hey, my family member is concerned because they live downtown, and is it really bad at Erasmo?" Ask me. I said, like, yes, it is. I work downtown, guys, and again, I feel for the people that are here, guys. I feel for them. I'm friendly with individuals. They need not be here. It's just that simple, guys, because now our folks that live downtown, guys, are in fear, and they should be, because there's so much uncertainty out there, guys. I mean, in regards to home safety, personal safety, property safety, guys. It's just that simple. But no one cares. John, the current mayor and the city commission don't care. They've had time to plan for this. They've done nothing. Now we've learned that the majority of the individuals on the BISD board don't care. They're planning to give them your resources, folks. It's just that simple. And it's unfortunate because to all the people out there, and again, it's not hate. It's not we dislike the individuals that are coming over, guys. But think of it very basically, folks. How many times have we heard from these people? There's no money. There's no funds. There's nothing we can do about it. But when it comes to putting money in their pocket or illegal aliens, the sky's the limit, guys. And that's what's unfortunate. Pull out your phones and record any government interaction. Guys, we'll finish off. Kathy, so let us know when the link is out.
I will.
Thanks
Definitely.
for coming on. I feel really bad for when I see children. Yeah, me too. 100%. I promise.
I know. They're exposing them. Unfortunately, they use them. Use them.
And the only ones, guys, again, the only ones that are making money, someone put it up there, are the cartels. The cartels are making a killing, guys. A killing. So the cartels don't want this to stop. special interest groups here locally are making a killing, like the Politiquera churches and all these other groups, guys. They're making a killing. They don't care. And they're the ones that are going to be very adamant, like the Politiquera church on West Elizabeth or whatever the hell it is, West Brownsville. The Catholic charities, they're making a killing, guys. 24, $25 million, guys. They're all making a killing. They don't want this to stop. They're the ones that are making money. Corrupt politicians are going to be making a killing. Vicente Gonzalez does not impress me. Former mayor, soon to be former mayor Trey Mendez was the worst mayor we've ever had in the history of Brownsville.
Totally agree.
Does not
totally agree.
And Jessica Gonzalez, the school board president, is imbécil, a estúpida.
No, let me tell you, I admire women that are intelligent. I embrace, their knowledge and, oye, espero que vergüenza. An embarrassment. I would not stand next to her as a woman. I wouldn't. She's an embarrassment. I'm sorry. I hate to say it. But I gotta say it.
Imbécil. Es una imbécil. I mean, never in my life have I ever met a more stupid person than Jessica Gonzalez. These folks, think of it. These are the individuals that lead this community. Trey Mendez, the worst mayor in the history of Brownsville. Eddie Trevino, who's out there making millions and millions of dollars off of your back. Jessica Gonzalez, que es una idiota. And Vicente Gonzalez, who doesn't even know what International Boulevard is or where Southmost is.
No. You know what? I hate to say this, people, but stop electing those type of individuals. Trust me, Vicente Gonzalez is worthless. He's not truly for us. He's for self-benefit, and he's got his hands in the cookie jar.
And that's who you have as our representatives.
Y no nos quieren porque hablamos. They don't like us. They don't care for us. Why? Because we're outspoken. And we call an ace an ace. But like I tell people, what these eyes see, no one can tell me differently. No one.
And como dice la Biblia, si el ciego guía al otro ciego, ambos caerán en el
Ambos caerán.
So God help us all, guys. The leadership that we have here is so pathetic. But hey, that's what you get for voting the crap that you voted.
And let me tell you, when they're leaders, you can call out their names. Todo se vale. I've been through it. I've gone through it. Trust me. And that's why I'm calling them out. I have the right. I might have not voted for them, but let me tell you, as a voter, I do have that right. I do. You have a right to complain when you vote. When you don't vote, you have to just bite your tongue and wait until you go out and vote and exercise your right. You know, I'm a hardcore voter, and I know when every election takes place, and I find out who's who. Okay? That is reality.
100%. These folks are voted for by the top 5% of the earners, so 95% don't care and not worried. 100%. Guys, Kathy, thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Stay safe.
9 p.m. If I don't fall asleep, guys, be good to each other. Continue to be good to me.
Be vigilant. Okay. Bye.